Have you ever caught it? That look? Her body's still, yet her eyes are a controlled burn. She's quiet, almost unnervingly so, and you feel it. Something ancient, something potent, stirring beneath the surface of her composure. This isn't just basic attraction. This isn't even simple desire. This is a fantasy, potent and unyielding, waiting for the precise touch to ignite it. Here's the stark truth. Most men never even brush against it. They navigate relationships with a hesitant politeness, asking for permission where conviction is needed, wondering why she's never truly there, fully present, fully consumed, whether in the bedroom or in the deeper currents of love. But when you understand this hidden language, she'll become yours in ways she won't ever be able to articulate, in ways that transcend logic. Let's begin. The dominance of certainty. When she craves to be claimed. Here's what no woman will ever confess aloud. Not to her friends, not even to herself in the quiet of her thoughts. I crave a man who doesn't ask if I'm ready. I crave a man who knows. This isn't about disrespect. This is about unshakable confidence. This is about a primal emotional dominance, the very kind she might publicly rail against, yet secretly aches for in the depths of her soul. Have you noticed the cultural pulse? The enduring allure of the bad boy archetype? Why sagas like 50 Shades of Grey captivate millions? Why the quiet, brooding man, the one of few words, often commands her attention effortlessly? It's because he embodies a force she instinctively craves but cannot, will not control. Not abuse, not arrogance, but authority, presence, command. She longs to be profoundly overpowered by a man who is utterly, completely in command of himself. That's the paradox. Her deepest fantasy isn't about being pushed around. It's about surrendering without fear, a willing descent into your certainty. A man of true value understands that this kind of surrender is only possible when she fundamentally trusts your leadership, your internal compass. How do you activate this powerful, almost sacred fantasy? You become the man who never needs to raise his voice to command her attention. You walk into a room and her very being feels your presence before you utter a single word. You meet her gaze, one piercing look, and her breath hitches, a silent acknowledgement. You reach for her hand, not as a request, but as a definitive lead, drawing her into your sphere. This is the trigger. It is the absolute certainty of your being. 2. The forbidden sanctuary, her secret longing to be held. She will declare her independence to the world fiercely. She's built her walls meticulously, proud of every stone. She will tell everyone she needs no saving. Yet hidden in the deepest chambers of her spirit, she longs to be caught. Not by someone soft who crumbles under the weight of her vulnerability, but by a man who sees through her carefully constructed armor and with quiet, unshakable conviction, simply says, "I've got you." This isn't about playing the hero in a dramatic rescue. It's about becoming her unassailable sanctuary, the one place she can finally, completely drop the act. Because here's her raw secret. She might conquer the world by day, but when she's with you, she longs to collapse into your strength, to feel utterly safe in her own exquisite fragility. Triggering this fantasy isn't about grand, sweeping gestures. It's about those profound, subtle moments that whisper, "You don't have to carry the weight alone anymore." It's holding her gaze when her world spirals, guiding her into a profound silence when her mind won't quiet. It's standing there unshaken when she pushes you away, because she desperately needs to know you won't abandon her. The more stoic, the more unwavering you become in the face of her emotional storms, the more those storms begin to orbit you rather than tear her apart. And once she truly feels that, she will begin to reveal every hidden fragment of herself she guards from the world. 3. The mask's unveiling. The desire to be truly seen. You know that version of her, the one who radiates charm in public, effortlessly flirts, performs, and plays the part. That's her mask. Every woman wears one. But what she truly desires, what she secretly yearns for, is the man who possesses the acuity to see beyond it. the one who catches the almost imperceptible crack in her voice and doesn't call her out, but simply understands. You don't expose her, you witness her. This is an intimacy so profound most men can't even touch it. You activate this fantasy through absolute attunement. You observe her with an almost preternatural focus, her tone, her silences, the subtle language of her body. You respond, you don't react. And in that potent presence, she begins to feel a paradoxical nakedness, yet an absolute safety. She might utter the customary, "I'm fine," but when you lean in, cradle her face in your hands and say with quiet conviction, "You don't have to be," she will melt. Because in that moment, she is no longer alone behind the mask. You have crossed the threshold into the private universe of her mind, a world she didn't even realize she was aching to share. And when you make her feel known to that depth, she doesn't just want your touch, she needs the profound affirmation of your seeing. The embrace of chaos, when she longs to lose control in your hands. This one is primal. It's the raw, unadmitted truth she'll never voice to friends, perhaps not even in her most private journals. Yet it is the most explosive, intoxicating, and dangerously alluring fantasy of them all. Losing control within the absolute safety of your hands. She craves to surrender to something far greater than her fleeting moods, greater than her anxieties, greater than the relentless chatter of her overthinking mind. She yearns to surrender to you. This is never about brute force. It's about your own internal grounding being so profound, so unshakable, that she feels she can finally let go, finally fall apart without the terrifying prospect of falling alone. And you don't lose your center. You hold her through it. You guide, you breathe, you lead. Triggering this fantasy demands absolute presence. You don't ask what she wants. You feel it before she can articulate it. You subtly slow her down when her thoughts spiral. You press pause when she rushes through moments. You hold her tighter when her instinct is to push you away. And in that intricate, intuitive dance, she begins to unravel, not in fear, but in a profound, exhilarating trust. She is not afraid of the dark within herself when you are her anchor. When a woman discovers a man who can not only handle her fire, but embrace its intensity, she will set his world ablaze, simply to stay warm beside him forever. 5. The silent obsession, becoming the thought she cannot escape. This final, profound fantasy doesn't demand a single word. It transcends seduction, dominance, or even safety. It's about lingering. You trigger this fantasy when you stop chasing, when you cease reacting, and instead move through your life with an unbothered, deeply confident conviction. You show her, not tell her, that her rejection didn't shatter you, that you aren't dissecting her every social media post, that you aren't reacting to her subtle tests. Instead, you are building, you are growing, you are glowing from within, and then subtly, inexorably, she finds she cannot stop thinking about you. It's the mystery you embody, the profound self-restraint, the way your powerful presence echoes in rooms you've long since departed. She begins to crave your energy again, but this time, there's a tantalizing uncertainty. She's not sure if she can have it. That's what elevates it to true fantasy, because the most haunting man is never the loudest. It is the one who, with an almost imperceptible touch, once stirred her very soul, and then receded, needing no applause, demanding no recognition. You become her obsession, and she will never confess it, but she will replay the way you breathed, the depth of your stare, the uncanny precision with which you knew her, over and over and over again, in the quiet theater of her mind. Now you possess it, not the curated fantasy she projects on social media, not the superficial checklist she presents to her friends. You have glimpsed the true, raw blueprint of her deepest, most potent desires, the fantasy she desperately tries to suppress, even from herself. And if you're still here, still reading, still resonating with these truths, you are not average. You are not safe. You are a man of profound, undeniable presence, a man who can hold fire without flinching. So I leave you with this. She doesn't want a man who asks for permission to exist. She wants a man who awakens her mind, captivates her body and consumes her soul. If this is the man you are, or the man you are determined to become, do not play small. Become the one profound fantasy she will never confess aloud, but will eternally live within. If this has ignited something within you, if you are truly done playing soft in a world that responds to genuine strength, then engage with this truth. This path isn't for the complacent. It's for the few who lead with unwavering clarity, undeniable command, and a powerful, magnetic, masculine depth.